You can absolutely sell your home without an agent in Knoxville. The real question no one asks, though, is whether you'll actually walk away with more money. Those are two very different things. Hey, y'all, hey, I'm Chris Ball with Chris Ball Properties at Keller Williams Realty, right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And we're the #4 real estate team in Knoxville by volume, RealTrends Verified. I work with for sale by owners, sellers all the time. And I want to be straight with you in this one. I'm not here to talk you out of selling on your own. There's no shame in going for sale by owner, and for the right seller in the right situation, it can work. What I'm going to show you is the full picture. Every FSBO actually requires. So you can make the decision with your own open eyes and walk away with the strongest possible result. Let's get into it. Now, let's start with the thing that reframes the entire for sale by owner decision. Selling your home on your own is possible. Plenty of homeowners try it. Some succeed. Many don't get the results they expected. And the difference is usually not effort. It's strategy, exposure, pricing, negotiation, and execution. Here's why. When you go for sale by owner, you're not just the homeowner. You become the marketer, the pricing strategist, the showing coordinator, the negotiator, the paperwork manager, the transaction problem solver, all at once. And that's a big job, okay? Not included, unfortunately. So, the most important reframe is this. The goal is not just to save on commission. The goal is to maximize your net proceeds and what you actually walk away with. And those are not the same thing. If you limit exposure, have weak presentation, the wrong price, or soft negotiation drops your sales price, the commission you save can shrink or disappear entirely. The question is not, can I avoid paying commission? The better question is, which path helps me walk away with the strongest outcome? And that is the whole video right there. So let's talk about what selling a home actually involves, because most sellers underestimate. A successful sale needs accurate pricing, strong online presentation. It needs professional marketing, buyer exposure, agent exposure. It needs showing coordination, buyer qualification. You need to review the offer and the paperwork. You need a negotiating strategy and inspection management. Appraisal awareness. You need contract deadline and closing coordination. That's a full list. And every item on there is your job as a for sale by owner. The first thing sellers underestimate is marketing, because posting a home online is not the same thing as marketing a home. And more for sale by owner sellers rely on a yard sign, a Zillow listing, and a Facebook post, and word of mouth. That creates some visibility, but it usually doesn't compare with professionally marketed. Your buyer is comparing your property side by side against listings with professional photography, a full MLS exposure, strong descriptions, social promotion, and buyer agent visibility. Without strong positioning, your home gets less and less attention, which means fewer buyers schedule showings. Agents don't even know about it, and your final price can take the hit. Visibility drives buyer activity, and buyer activity drives leverage, which leverage drives your final out. So before you ever post your home, build a full marketing, photos, descriptions, pricing, showing access, buyer agent communication, and launch timing already before you even go post. The second thing for sale by owner underestimate is pricing, because pricing is actually strategic, not personal. Price too high and buyers ignore your home. Price too low and you leave money on the table. The trap is that most for sale by owner sellers price based on online estimates, what they need to make, or what the neighbors sell for, what they put into the home, or personal attack. Buyers, they do not price homes any of those ways. Buyers compare your home against each home that's currently active, recently sold, and they look at the condition, updates, and location and perceived value. Pricing isn't picking a number. It's reading the market and accounting for current competition, comparable sales, and buyer search brackets, days on the market, and appraisal risk. And it's not set it and forget it. The market gives feedback fast, and if you ignore that feedback, momentum disappears. Don't rely on an online estimate. Compare your home against what buyers can actually buy right now in your price. The third thing sellers underestimate is buyer behavior, because it's different than you'd expect. A lot of for sale by owners assume a buyer will see their home, love it, and write a clean offer. Sometimes, but often not. Today's buyers are informed. They're cautious and selective. And many are represented by agents who help them compare homes, evaluate price, and negotiate terms. Here's the part that costs for sale by owner sellers real money. Some buyers see a for sale by owner home as a chance to get a deal. They assume they're saving commission, so they expect a discount. They assume you are less experienced, so they negotiate harder. And their perception alone can weaken your... It doesn't mean buyers and agents avoid your home. It means the process has to feel professional, clear, and easy. Because if the listing feels unorganized, buyers will use that as leverage again. The fourth thing sellers underestimate is how time-intensive managing the whole process is. Selling a home is far more than opening the door for showings. You're managing buyer inquiries, showing requests, scheduling, pre-qualification questions, disclosures, offer review, negotiations, repair, inspection timelines, appraisal issues, closing deadlines, title communication, and follow-up. That gets overwhelming fast, especially if you're also working, moving, raising a family, or trying to buy your next home at the same time. The process needs structure. Without it, sellers miss opportunity, delay responses, or lose buyers' interest. So build a system before you go. Decide how showings get scheduled, decide how buyers get screened, and how you're going to review the offers, and how deadlines are. The fifth thing they underestimate is negotiation, because it directly impacts the bottom. Price not only is part of the outcome, terms matter just as an offer includes the purchase price, but also could include closing costs, inspection, and appraisal contingencies. It can include financing terms, repair requests, or closing date, and earnest money. A higher offer is not always the better. An offer with weak financing, heavy concessions, or a shaky timeline can carry more risk than a slightly lower offer with stronger. Strong negotiation protects your net pro. Weak negotiation quietly erodes. Review every offer on both price and terms, because your net result matters more than the headline. And here's the final truth that applies to every seller, for sale by owner or not. The first 7 to 10 days on the market matter more than most people. When your home first it's the strongest attention. Serious buyers are watching and waiting for new listings. Agents are checking fresh inventory, and the platforms push new properties into the search. And if your home isn't positioned correctly from the start, then move on. Momentum's lost, and you end up needing price reductions. Do not test the market with weak photos, unclear pricing, or an incomplete. This is exactly what I mean when I say get ahead of the market. Don't launch the home correctly from there. Now, let me be fair and honest and balanced here, because for sale by owners generally can be the right call. Selling with an agent may make sense if you have a real estate transaction, if you understand local pricing, and if you have time to manage the product, you're comfortable with negotiating, and you understand contracts, and you can market the home effectively. You're ready to work with buyer, or you already have a qualified buyer line. In that right situation, for sale by owner works. The key is being honest with yourself about your time, your experience, your risk tolerance, and the ability to run this from start. And here's where it commonly becomes, watch for these limited, few qualified buyers that are interested. Unclear feedback or lowball offers. Buyers asking for heavy discounts, or agents not even showing the home at all. Online views, or you have them but no appointments. Confusion around the paperwork, or no serious offers. When that happens, the issue is almost never effort. It's strategy. And if the market isn't, something has to change. And whether that's the price, the marketing, the presentation, the showing process, or the person there's no shame in starting for sale by owner, and there's no shame in recognizing when the plan needs. The market does not reward pride, it rewards execution. So here's the smarter way to think about this whole decision. It's not simply agent or no agent. The real decision is which path gives you the best result that aligns with your goals. And that result should include the best possible net proceeds, the lowest stress, and the best buyer exposure, the cleanest negotiation, and the fewest mistakes. A controlled timeline that aligns with that actually closes. For some homeowners, selling on their own is the right choice. For others, the smarter move is bringing in the right strategy at the right time. Remember, a buyer is not a closed sell. A signed contract is not a closed sell. The deal isn't done and the records are there. And for sale by owner success requires both the front end marketing and the back end transaction. Here's the local truth from someone who works in this market. I've watched a lot of Knoxville homeowners try to sell on their own for completely valid reasons. To save money, to stay in control, or make the best financial decision. Makes sense. But this market is competitive, and buyers compare your homes fast across West Gifts, Farragut, Hardin Valley, Maryville, Powell, Carnes, Oak Ridge, Bearden, and Halls before they ever decide which home to see. That means your home has to be priced correctly, positioned well, and marketed and easy for buyers and agents to. For sale by owner success is not about avoiding commission. It's about proving value to the market. The goal is not just to sell without help. The goal is to sell well. That's a strategic plan that aligns with your end goal. And it's a plan, not luck. It's being proactive, not reactive. If you're thinking about for sale by owner in Knoxville, West Knoxville, Farragut, anywhere honestly, and here's my before you commit to either direction. Let's talk through specific situations. No pressure, just a clear-eyed look at which plan nets you the strongest outcome. Even if you decide to do it with a better plan. Let's get ahead of the market together and not reach out to me directly. I am Chris Ball with Chris Ball Properties at Keller. And if this helped you, do me a huge favor. Subscribe and hit that bell because we put out West Knoxville and East Tennessee selling strategies like this every month. And I bet I'll see you